Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another tutorial. If you're new here, please smash that subscribe button down below, turn on your post notifications so you do not miss out on any of my detailed and exclusive crochet tutorials. For today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this potty short with side pockets. It's an easy pattern mainly made of half double crochets. I do play long tennis and I thought it was kind of cool to make myself these pair of shorts when I resume training. This short, however, is versatile and very trendy. It can be adjusted for all sizes as well. Please smash that like button if you want to see more crochet content and leave a comment on what you think about these shorts. Alright, let's get started. For this project, you'll be needing the milk cotton yarn and the Red Hat Super Saver, which is 100% acrylic. Milk cotton yarn, I got it from an Instagram store. It's called All in One More. I'll be leaving their link in the description. I really love this yarn. This is one of my most favorite yarns so far. It has this soft texture which I really need for this project, especially if you want to make clothing, but it's a little bit thicker than the usual yarns we have been using here, so you will have to improvise when you are using the hook. I won't say you should strictly go with these two type of yarns. You can use any type of yarn at your disposal, except that the medium should be a little of the medium weight or the worsted weight yarn, which I have right here. The Red Hat is also in the shade white. For the hook size, I'll be using the 3.5mm hook for this project. The hook specified for this yarn is 5.0. I just still want my tight feature, so I just prefer hooks for these ones. You also need a measuring tape to measure the vital areas. You also will be needing some stitch markers or a safety pin to replace. And you also need a pair of scissors to cut off the excess yarns. These are the only items you'll be needing for this project. The very first section for this project includes the waistband, and this is one of the most unique waistband I've ever tried on for a project. It's not a regular waistband I usually do. This one consists of double crochets and front post double crochets. So I'll make a slip knot to begin. I wrap it around my finger and then I pull the excess yarn through. I insert my hook in the space to tighten up and I pull. So now I'm going to make a chain long enough to cover my waist area, because we are basically making a waistband and everyone's chain might differ. So I'll show you the number of chains I end up making. In a total of 100. It depends on the coverage you want for your waist, and everyone's waist differs, so it's better you use your waist your measuring tape so that you know the exact number of chains to make. But what I'm going to do now is to attach slip stitch to join, because we are basically going to work the waist in round. So I just make sure that the chain is straight enough, and then I insert my hook in the very first space. After I insert my hook, I take the yarn and yarn over from the back, just like this. Pull through and then pull through the loop to secure. So that's how I join mine. And now I'm going to work my waistband in this section. So to begin, I chain up 3, put a double crochet here, and I have very loose space, and then double crochet in the next, and make sure you place a double crochet in all the spaces till you get to the end of the row. Sure that you place a double crochet in all the space to get to the end of the row, and I'll show you what to do. So guys, I placed a double crochet in all the chain stitches, and I want to give you a little demonstration on how to keep the chain very straight for you to double crochet, because most beginners do have a problem of making their chains twisted. So now when you are getting to the end, you make sure that the chain is in place. So you can see that it's in place now. And then you hold this with your other thumb. You hold the end of the chain with your other thumb, like how I'm holding, so that you can grip up and double crochet in all the chain spaces left, and you don't end up making it twisted. So this is a little hack for you guys on how I keep it straight. So I'm done with my whole set of double crochet, and I ended with this chain. So I just slip stitch into the very first double crochet. So I just slip stitch into the very first double crochet, just like this, and that's basically it. I have my first section done. So the next row is going to include front post and back post double crochet, and I would like you to really observe if you haven't used this stitch before, because it really gets a little confusing. So what I'm going to do is to chain up 3 as usual to begin the next row. I put a double crochet in the next chain, in the next double crochet. This chain 3 always counts as a double crochet. This is the very next double crochet, so I place a double crochet on top of it. What I'm going to do next is to yarn over. Instead of putting a double crochet on top of this, I'll just insert the hook into the space like this, pull the hook from the back, and then pull the yarn like this, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. What I just did is a front post double crochet. I hope I'm not confusing you. So I'm going to demonstrate the front post double crochet I just did in the next double over the next double crochet, not really in the next, because you are just going around, you are not going on top. So just yarn over, insert your hook like this, and then you pull your hook from here. So you are going around the double crochet like this, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So the next 2 stitches is going to be a regular double crochet like how we did, because this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So you just put 2 double crochets here. So 1 double crochet, the next is another 1 double crochet regularly on top. The next 2 stitches is going to be the front post double crochet. So around the next double crochet, just do a double crochet, making the front post, go around, just do another front post double crochet. So 2, just like this. That is how you are going to do it simultaneously. The next 2 is going to be 2 double crochets, regular one. So just double crochet on top of the next double crochet and double crochet in the following. The next one is going to be a front post double crochet. So go around like this, do your front post, go around like this. Next 2 stitches is going to be your regular double crochet. Next 2 is going to be your front post double crochet. So this row basically consists of regular double crochet and front post double crochet, but the next row also consists, the next row is when you use both the front and back post, which I'll be demonstrating to you. So I'm going to do this row regularly, repeating 2 regular stitches of double crochet and then 2 regular stitches of front post. So you see that the front post comes and it opens, like it raises the double crochet for you to get that detail. So that's what I'm basically going to do now till the end of the row, which is row 2, to the end of row 2, and row 3 will be a very final row for the waist area. and then we begin with the main section of the project. So I'll meet you at the end. So guys, I repeated the front post double crochet and the regular double crochet till I got to the end of the row. I ended with 2 double crochets. Everyone has a different ending because we chain differently, so you don't have to worry if you end with a front post instead. So all you have to do is to slip stitch into the very first double crochet. Make sure you go inside and then you slip stitch. The next row is going to be the final row for the whole project, for the whole waistband, I'm sorry, before we start with the main body of the project. Up 3. This is the next regular row on its own from the previous row, and I told you the chain 3 always counts as a double crochet on its own, and that's the only difference for this row section. So around the very first double crochet, which is a regular double crochet, you go and do a back post. A front post is like this, a back post is like this. So you first yarn over, insert your hook from the back, you pull, you insert like this, and then you insert like this. So it goes on top or at the back from the back. So it goes at the back, the front post goes front, and the back post goes at the back like this. You can turn like this and just insert. So I just insert like this and do a double crochet around it. And then the next 2 ones are the front posts you saw from the, we did from the previous row. So you still do a front post around them. So just go and do a front post around them. These are the next 2 double crochets, which were lying on its own from the previous row, the regular double crochet. So we'll do the back posts like how we did for the very first section. So do the back posts like this around them, 2 of them. And that's the only variation for this row. So the next 2 sections, which is a front post, you just do a front post around them. And the next 2 like this, you just do a back post around them, the regular ones. So just yarn over, do your back post. It really adds this nice detail and bunched up look for the waist, which I need. So I'm going to repeat this simultaneously. Whenever you see the front post, you do the front post around them like this. And whenever you see the back posts, the regular double crochet, you do a back post around them. So I'll meet you at the end of the row. So this is my repetition all around this section. I have already done 2 back posts, and basically there's this double crochet line on its own. So you can just decide to do a front post, you can just decide to do a back post around these, or you can just decide to end with a double crochet. So I just prefer to end with a regular double crochet on top, because this chain 3 is a regular one, so if you get 2 intersecting, it looks nicer. So I just put a double crochet, regular double crochet, on the very last double crochet for the section, and I just slip stitch into the very first double crochet. So just slip stitch into the very first double crochet, and voila, you are done with the waistband. Isn't it nice? Even though it's kind of difficult, some people feel lazy doing front post and back post double crochet. It's normal to feel lazy, but it gives you the best effect. I want my waistband to be a little bit bunched up and textured, and that's how I prefer it. So the rest of, we are now going to move to the next session, which includes half double crochet stitches only for the pattern. So now this is the exact middle of the whole waistband, which you must take notice of. So I'm going to yarn over and cut off before I continue talking too much. So nicely and neatly done. You weave in the excess yarns later, which is very important. But now we are going to concentrate on leaving a little bit space for the side and side. You know this is the side and side already. This is the middle. You need to lay it accordingly. So this is what I like to do. I will stitch mark this area. So I just insert the hook into these 2 loops. I'm basically going to put my stitch marker there to keep it in place. And what I did for here, I'll just do the same exact thing. So this is how it's going to look, the 2 stitch markers there. Now you are going to work the front and back section. I prefer here to be the front of the design, and then this is the back section. So this is the exact middle, and you have to notice there, and I just thank God that this yarn is there to notify me. So you have to do also stitch mark this exact place. You just need a little bit space for the side pockets, and so we'll be working from here. We'll attach our yarn, work from the front section with half double crochets, and then we end here. So first of all, I'm going to take my yarn, make a slip knot just like this, pull tight and slip stitch here. If you can see this clearly, I slip stitch into the where the stitch marker is. So I basically slip stitch smoothly to where the stitch marker is, and I pull the yarn to this section because I like to keep the yarn woven in already. So I'll be doing everything, all the stitches I do, the yarn ends up hiding inside the stitches instead of finishing and now weaving in. So I chain 1, and the chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so I prefer to have double crochet in the same stitch, because I told you this section contains only of half double crochet. So just swiftly half double crochet in all the spaces you find yourself in. So I'm going to have double crochet all the way down in all the spaces. So I'm going to put a half double crochet in all the spaces till I get to the very middle, which already has this yarn there, because that's where we actually cut off to begin this new row. I am almost there. This is where we cut off the yarn, and that's the exact middle of the project. So what I'm going to do is to insert my hook and half double crochet there, and put another 2 half double crochet in the same exact space. So we are basically increasing to get this nice shape for the very bottom of the shorts, and that's what we basically needed. That's why I needed to stop here and put a total of 3 half double crochets in the same exact. So the rest of the rows is going to, the rest of the section, this section is going to be half double crochet along swiftly the waistband. So I get to the end of the row, which is actually here where you stitch mark this 2 together. You just stop here. So you just stop here, this section, this stitch. So I'll meet you when I get here. Just half double crochet in all the spaces like how we did for this section, exactly where the stitch marker is. So I'm going to put my last half double crochet here, and I can now remove the stitch marker and leave it at this section. So this is the gap between the 2, and you can do the same exact thing for this side as well. Basically leave it at the back because we'll be stitch marking. So this is the little gap. It's about just 2 stitches or 3 stitches in between. That is where we'll be inserting our pocket. and that's basically how this section is going to be like. So you chain up one. This is the very first space, so you put a double crochet here. Remember that the chain one does not count as a stitch. Sorry, I have double crochet. Why do I always say double crochet? So you have double crochet all the way in the spaces, as you can see, until we get to where we placed the 3 double crochet, which is essential to stitch mark. So stitch mark the very middle of the 3 double crochets, sorry, the 3 half double crochets you placed in the middle. So this is the exact middle where we are going to stop and put the same 3 half double crochets in to maintain the feature we need for this short pattern. So we are almost at the very middle. I already placed my stitch marker to secure. So you see the 3 half double crochets, you make sure you target the middle and put your stitch markers there. So this is the last but one stitch, and this is where I remove my stitch marker and place a total of 3 half double crochets in the same exact space. So just place your 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and now you can continue, but make sure you just stitch mark the exact middle as well, so that you don't skip it in the next section of this pattern. So I'm just going to put my stitch markers there and now continue with my half double crochet till I get to the end of the row. Getting to the end, you have double crochet, and this is the very last stitch. Make sure you place your half double crochet in the space, and that's basically how it's going to be like. So basically you can see that this place keeps elongating, and that's actually the effect we need for the middle for this pattern. So this is how it's going to be for several rows. Just make sure you stitch mark the middle so that you don't skip there, and you put your 3 half double crochets in the same exact space. I'm going to demonstrate a few rows, but first always chain 1, half double crochet in the same exact space, because the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So half double crochet and half double crochet in all the spaces. Note that you are going under the 2 loops. If you take these loops, you are going under both. Don't go at the back or the front. So if you go here, you are still going under the 2 loops, which you can see clearly. So it's just regular half double crochets in the spaces, that's how I call it, or in the stitches. So just half double crochet swiftly. So finally, at where the stitch marker is, make sure it's the middle of the 3 half double crochet. So this is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the final one. So this is the exact middle, and that's the basic technique you need for this. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker and put my total of 3 half double crochets. Oh geez, 3 half double crochets in the same exact space. So you basically look for the middle, which is exactly here. You can see this clearly. I used to miss my middle, and now I've basically come up with a technique to locate the middle. So this is the first, this is the middle, this is the last one, counting from here. So 1, 2, 3, and now you are going to continue with your regular half double crochets in each stitch. Getting to the end of the row, make sure you put your half double crochet in the very last. So this is the last one, and we are basically done. So I don't want my tutorial to be extremely long, but this is a very easy thing. You just chain 1, half double crochet. When you get to the middle, put your 3. Make sure you place your stitch marker there always, so that you'll be reminded not to skip, because I'm fond of skipping most of the time. So I'm just going to half double crochet, and I'll show you the exact number of rows. I'll also show you my process as I'm going on. And so just continue basically with your number of rows that you need for the coverage before we work on the pant leg. So I'll meet you as I progress. So I'm basically done with the repetition of my half double crochet rows. I did a total of 10 rows. I made sure I always place 3 half double crochets in the middle, and that's basically how this section is going to be. Now you are going to work on the back portion of the seam, which includes the repetition of what I've been teaching you so far from the tutorial after the waistband, which is several rows of half double crochet, except that you put 3 half double crochets in the middle. You are going to basically repeat this same section by reattaching at where the stitch marker is. A short disclaimer to you guys is that wherever the gap between the front and the back section, wherever it is, make sure that the gap is not really wide. So if you can see how you are going to, that's the little gap you are going to leave between the front and the back section. Basically I'm just going to make a slip knot and reattach at that section. So just basically make your slip knot and reattach at that section. Finally done with my total repetition as I did for here, and this is where I ended. So I'll be cutting off my excess yarn and for the side pockets, and you actually need 4 pieces for the side pockets. 1 for this side, 1 for this side, 1 for this actual side, and 1 for this side. So you actually join at the end, and I already worked the official side pockets. This is the first one I'm making. I'm going to make the exact same thing, and that's what I'm going to show you. This is when you need your red hat or any other color you choose, or you can just use the same yarn you're using for the main body. So I actually have my red hat here, and I'm going to work on my second side pocket. So the side pocket enters in just like this, so that you can have the feel of putting your hands inside this section. A basic slip knot and then chain 20 for the first section. 20. I'm now going to have double crochet, and to have double crochet, count to the second space, sorry, to the third space for the hook. So you just yarn over 1 2 3. In the third space you do your half double crochet there, and you are going to have double crochet all the way down in the spaces. So I finally ended my row of half double crochet, and then I'm going to do a total of 4 rows of half double crochet. So I'll chain 1 and go into the very first space over there and half double crochet. So I'm going to half double crochet all the way down. So now this is row 4. I'm gradually getting to the end, and this is a row that's has a little variation. So you just regularly put your half double crochets in the spaces. This is the very last half double crochet, but this time you have to put 2 instead of 1, so just put another one there, and we just increase a little to extend a little pocket coverage, and that will be the only row of increase. So the rest of the rows are going to be regular. So chain 1, half double crochet in the very first space, and half double crochet all the way down to the end of the row, and we are going to repeat this until you get to the 13th row. With my total of 13 rows of half double crochet, and now with the 14th row, you're basically going to increase in the, we are going to do a different type of stitch, which is the double crochet. So to begin, chain up 3, turn over your work, double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet into the next 7 stitch. So in total you must have 9 double crochet running across. So this is my total of 9 double crochets, and the rest of the stitches across to the end is going to be half double crochet. So go into the next space, half double crochet and half double crochet all the way down. It's essential to have double crochet till the end of the row. And now the next row, basically it is very important for you to note the very last double crochet you made. So there's the very last double crochet you made, and just put that in mind that the double crochets are raised, so there's no need for you to put a stitch markers. I'm just going to count my total number of half double crochets I made. So one, so you just put the next row, you put a total of 11 half double crochets, and then you put a total of 9 double crochets. So let me do a demonstration for you. So this row, the next row is going to be the 15th row, and you actually end on the 16th row as I told you from the beginning of the pocket size. So chain 1, half double crochet in the same space. So you are going to put 11. So this is the second one. So the stitches are going to be double crochet to the end of the row. So just double crochet to the end of the row. And now we are basically going to end our final row, which is row 16. So to begin the next row, you just chain up 3 and put across your 9 double crochets. This 2 counts as a double crochet, so the rest is going to be 8 double crochets, and then you basically do your half double crochets. So I'll meet you when I'm done with my pockets. So I'm basically done with my total number of pockets. You're supposed to do the same thing for 4, and that's basically how the inside pocket is. Time for you to insert inside. This is the right side of the shorts. So basically this is the inside. So this is what you're going to do. The part that has the double crochet comes here. So basically this is how the facing is going to be. But I want to measure a few things for you. This is actually how it's about 16 inches for the main body, one part of the main body, and actually this is about 5 inches for the inside pockets. So we are going to join them separately, and then we join the other parts, the down parts. This is the parts that I have to join. So I'm going to make a slip knot and attach here like this. Attach, just make sure that the pocket is fit, just like this. So I'll meet you at the end of this section. You are supposed to join up to here. Actually done with the single crochet along the edges. What is that? It does is that it brings you a whole new feature at the edge of the shorts. So this is the front portion. Actually, I want you guys to take notice that you need this feature for the front, and then I'll teach you how to attach the pockets for the back portion. And then you basically attach like this with a single crochet, just like you did for here. So this is how the inner facing is going to look like. We are going to also do another type of attachment here and here, which is the back portion. I hope you get it. So guys, I already reattached this pockets this way. So you realize that this are the 2 pockets we attached such that the single crochet seam comes out to give a new detail for the shorts. But for the back portion, you are going to attach such that the seam goes in hidden. You understand? So this is how it actually looks from the side. So you actually put the pocket this way, and then you single crochet, and then you turn it like this inside so that it becomes hidden. And then you don't get any seam, you don't get any detail like how this detail looks. You don't get the same thing here. I'm going to demonstrate this to you for this side because we have attached the first side. So the double crochet side faces this way. This time you are going to put it on top of the facing, as in the right side. You are going to put it on top of the right side, just like this, and then you reattach your yarn to this side. First slip stitch to join, and then you can now single crochet along the edges. Chain 1 first, hiding the seams, and single crochet. This is how it's going to look like. That's when you have to flip it inside out, just like this, so that they end up, so that the seam ends up getting hidden. Okay, so you reattach with a single crochet all to get to this side, and then you basically single crochet here to join, and then you also single crochet to join. Then basically we are going to weave in the excess yarns, and then we work on the official pant legs. So I'm basically done with the joining. This is how it's going to look like. You just turn to the right side, and then the pockets come inside. So that's how the pocket is going to be. And it's now basically time to work your crotch area. You just make a slip knot and slip stitch into any space you find over there, yarns here, so that you can have double crochet and keep them inside. So basically I chain one, have double crochet in the same exact space, going to have double crochet all the way down. So if you realize, I'm doing it facing this area. I'm doing such that it faces this area. So I'm going to have double crochet till I get here. This is my stitch marker there, so that I don't forget to skip. So just place your stitch marker in the exact middle, and I'll meet you at where the stitch marker is. I'm gradually approaching the exact middle. So these are the 3 half double crochets we placed in the middle. So I'm just going to stop at the very first half double crochet for the middle. Since we have 3 in the middle, just stop at the very first. So I'm going to put my last half double crochet there, and that is when you are going to separate for your pants leg. So normally it depends on how much you want to chain. Chain 7. I'm going to chain 7 for mine. Probably 8 will do. So after chaining a total of 8, I'm going to connect to this next one. As I told you, there's 3 half double crochets in the middle. There's the first one, there's the second, there's the third. Just connect to the third one when you turn your work this way. So you are going this way. You are going this way instead of this way. Some people make mistakes and go the wrong way. So you just yarn over and insert your hook in the third space, and just basically have double crochet just like this. And so that's how this is going to work. You're going to have double crochet all around till you get to where you started. I'm gradually approaching to where we slip stitched. Basically just have double crochet, and you can just swiftly put a half double crochet there as well, and then you slip stitch into the very first half double crochet to join. So just slip stitch just like that. Now you can just turn your work this way. Just turn your work this way, and now you can work your half double crochets in this section until you meet where you chained, and we are still going to put half double crochets in. So let me just demonstrate to you some little so just chain 1, half double crochet in the same exact space, and then half double crochet all the way down. Double crochet all the way down till you get to where you chained, and I'll show you what to do. So we are now at where we chained. Just please make sure the line is always straight. The chain must be straight so that you can still work your stitches inside straightly till you meet the next part. So I'm basically putting half double crochets in all the chains. So when you are done with this section, you are basically done with the separation of the shorts, which is a good news for you guys. What do you think about it? This shorts is like cool. It's very cool. I just love the colors I choose for this milk cotton yarn. it gives it a new detail on its own. You're basically now going to have double crochet, nothing else. You're just going to have double crochet all around till you get to where you actually started. It's better you even place a stitch marker there so that you know exactly where to slip stitch. It's for your coverage. I'll show you the exact number of rows I'm going to do, and whatever you do for this section you are going to also do for this section as well. Just make sure that you chain, you stop at where the stitch markers actually are, which is the last but one. So this is the middle and this is the last but one, so you are going to stop exactly here and you just chain the exact amount, which is 8, and you do your half double crochet for the pant legs as well, and that's basically it. And then you can just weave in excess yarns, add a little edging or detail. This is how the front is going to look like for the shorts. I'm going to complete my row and I'll show you how many rows I did for my pant leg. I'm at the end of the row. Make sure that you just slip stitch into the half double crochet and you basically join. And this time you are not going to turn like how we did for row 2. Just continue, chain 1 and continue with your half double crochet. Make sure you have double crochet in the same exact space and have double crochet in all the spaces till you get to the end of the row, slip stitch and repeat this till the end. So guys, I'm finally done with both pant legs. As I explained to you, I did 6 rows for each size. It depends on the type of yarn you are using and the coverage you want for your pant legs. I just love the details already, and this is how the inner detail is going to look. Now it's time for you to join the exact middle because there will be a gap in between, and basically you have to just join that gap with a single crochet stitch. So after you are done with that gap, you are finally done with this short. I hope you love it. All you have to do is to take your yarn and single crochet at that exact white space, as you can see, all the way down swiftly. You can add extra details at the side pockets by single crocheting in that same exact yarn, as you can see, to make it more revealing. So guys, this is the final look. I hope you loved this tutorial. I hope it was detailed enough for you. I would like to see your creations as well on Instagram or any other social media. If you are not yet following me, please follow me on Instagram. Let's connect more. Check the description box for all the links so we stay connected. Bye bye.